The Whispered File, the Shapira Scroll. In 1883, a Jerusalem antiquities dealer named Moses Shapira walked into the British Museum with a claim that would shake biblical scholarship to its core. He said he possessed fragments of the oldest known version of the Book of Deuteronomy, older than anything in the Dead Sea Scrolls. Older than anything anyone had ever seen. The scrolls, he insisted, had been discovered by Bedouins in the cliffs near the Dead Sea. But within months, his life would unravel completely. Shapira was a complicated man. Born in Poland in 1830 to a Jewish family, he'd followed his father to Jerusalem as a young man in the 1850s. Somewhere along that journey, he converted to Christianity, added the name Wilhelm, and reinvented himself. By the 1870s, he was the go-to antiquities dealer in Jerusalem, the man collectors and scholars came to when they wanted pieces of the ancient world. His shop on Christian Quarter Road became famous across Europe. Museums bought from him. Universities trusted his eye. But Shapira had a problem. The market for authentic artifacts was unpredictable. Sometimes the Bedouins found nothing for months. So Shapira began making pieces, copies so skilled, so carefully aged, that even experts couldn't tell them apart. For years, no one suspected. Then, in 1878, he sold a batch of forged manuscripts to the British Museum. When they discovered the deception, it was public and brutal. Shapira's reputation fractured. He tried to rebuild. And then came the Shapira Scroll, supposedly the genuine article. The fragments were written in an archaic Hebrew script on leather, fragmentary and strange. If authentic, they would rewrite everything scholars understood about the biblical text. The British Museum brought in experts. For weeks, the scholarly world held its breath. Paleographers examined the script. Theologians debated the language. And then the verdict came: forgery, not just a mistake, a deliberate, skillful fake. The accusation destroyed him. Whether Shapira had actually forged the scroll himself, or whether he'd been duped by someone else and his reputation made him the perfect scapegoat, no one could say for certain. But the damage was done. Collectors stopped buying. Museums returned his pieces. The man who'd built a life on the authority of objects found himself stripped of all credibility. On March 9, 1884, Moses Shapira checked into a Paris hotel under an assumed name. He was found dead 3 days later. Suicide, the official record said. A man destroyed by a scandal that may or may not have been entirely his own fault. But here's what haunts the story. We still don't know if that scroll was actually forged. Was Shapira guilty? Or was he the victim of the very reputation he'd created?